Last chapter of the book, and it's all geometry. Some of you will love geometry. I kind of enjoy geometry. I didn't when I was younger, but as I gotten older, I found out how a lot of times all you need to use a formula and you get the correct answer. So knowing the formulas, super important for this whole chapter, so make sure you get them written down. So today is 12:1, circles and circumference. So we're going to start with talking about circles. So the few definitions I have for you is a circle. And this is a set of all points in a plane that are the same distance from a given point. And the next vocabulary word is center. So what this means is that if I have a point, a circle is like dots all the way around that set point and the same distance away. That's what a circle is. You know, a lot of times we see a circle as a line, but if you think about it, all of that line is a whole bunch of little dots connected together. So that's why it's a set of all points in a plane, the same distance from a given point, and that given point is usually the center. A few other definitions I have for you. If you want, you can pretty much just draw the picture. If you'd rather just draw the picture, some of you are visual people, and if you need to draw a picture, go ahead and do that. And so the first thing I have is the radius, and a radius is from the middle, and I have it right here, all the way to the outside of that circle. So radius is basically halfway across. Okay. All right. The next vocabulary word I have is diameter, and diameter would be the whole way across, and I have that kind of shown as in the green line here. So whole way across. Okay. And then circumference is the distance around the circle. So if you wanted to put this in your picture, I don't have it in here, but all you would have to do is write circumference all the way around this circle. Circumference is the distance all the way around the circle. All right, the next thing we need to talk about is pi. Now, pi is something we've talked about in the past. I'm not talking about a pie as in like the food, but here's a few things you need to know about pi. Okay, so first thing, pi, its value is 3.14, and it goes on forever, honestly, but we shorten it to 3.14. Your calculator has a pi button on it, but we are not going to use the pi button. We're going to always use 3.14. So just get that in your head, and you start using it, and 3.14, you start using it as a habit. 3.14, we're not going to use the pi button. Okay, it's represented by this symbol. It looks like this. That's the pi symbol. And what is pi exactly? Okay, so every circle you deal with pi. Now why? Because if I would take the circumference of a circle and I would divide, is that circumference? There we go, I had it right. And divide by the diameter. And this works for every single circle. We would always get 3.14. And what that means is, in a circle, if I have the diameter, okay, that means that if I would take this diameter out and I would put it around the circle, it would be about there 3.14 times. So this is the first time it goes around, the second time, the third time, and that 0.14. So the diameter goes around a circle 3.14 times. That's where we get the term for pi. That's where we get the number for pi. All right, so a few equations I have for you today that you need to know. So make sure you get them written down. Circumference. Circumference is pi times diameter. There's actually two for circumference. So you can use pi times diameter, or 2 times pi times radius. Now there's two equations that work for circumference. The reason why there's two is they will get you the same answer. And the reason why 2 times the radius will give you the diameter, so that's why these two are technically the same things. And you can use either one depending on what you're given. If you're given the radius, you can easily use this one. If you're given the diameter in a problem, you can easily use this one. I suggest you find one and always use it. Find one and stick with it. Most of you will lean towards this one, because you'll actually double the radius in your head and use it as the diameter. So most people will use the one that I have on the left. The other definition, or I'm sorry, equation I have for you is diameter. So if you need to find the diameter of a circle, you're given the circumference and you want to find diameter, you take circumference divided by diameter. And we're not going to talk about this one really. But usually this one will give you what the diameter is. So circumference divided by diameter. Or I'm sorry, circumference divided by pi will give you the diameter. All right, so let's find a few things first. So let's just talk about some examples. So if I want to find the circumference of each, remember I can use 2 times pi times r, or I can use pi times diameter, either one. So I'm going to look at this one right here. And I see that 20 is all the way across, so I know this is my diameter. So I can take 3.14, which I'm going to use for pi, times 20, and that's going to give me this diameter, or give me this circumference. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm guessing it's about 60 something. 3.14 times 20, it's 62.8, and it's centimeters. We're going to always label. Okay, this one, notice it's the radius, so I can use the one that's on the left, 2 times pi times radius, so 2 times 3.14 times 3, and I can plug that into my calculator. 2 times 3.14 times 3, and I get 18.84 feet. Okay. All right, so what's the diameter of the circle? So now we're going to go backwards. We know what the circumference is, but we want to find the diameter. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use this equation, okay? All right, so I'm going to put in what I know. So I know my circumference is going to be 40. I don't know my diameter, but I know pi is 3.14. So to solve for my diameter, I can divide by 3.14 and divide by 3.14. So 40 divided by 3.14 would be about 27 or 12.7. What is this? We'll say it's centimeters, just like this. Or you can go back here, and here is the same thing that I used, exactly the same equation that I used. Okay, here's an example. It says Bernard works at a pool that is 40 meters in circumference. Usually when I get a story problem, I like to make a picture. So circumference is 40 meters, so all the way around. I want to buy a rope that divides the middle of the pool. I just had this one actually. And I want to know how long the rope should be. Let's change it. And let's say instead of 40 meters, let's do 100 meters to change it up. So it would be diameter times pi equals circumference. And now let's put in things that we know. We know circumference is here. Diameter I don't know. I know pi is 3.14. I'm going to go ahead and divide by 3.14. So 100 divided by 3.14. And I get approximately, that means about, that sign, 31.8 feet. Oh, actually meters. So that's how long my rope should be across the middle. All right, another one. Let's do another quick one. A Ferris wheel has a diameter of 40 feet. Oh my gosh, how come I always get 40? Let's do, let's say a diameter of 30 feet. How far does a rider travel if they go around the Ferris wheel 10 times? So here is my Ferris wheel. It tells me the diameter is 30 feet. So I want to know, let's just talk about one time. How far is one time around the circle? Okay, so first I got to find the circumference around one time. So circumference is 2 times, 2 times radius times pi, or pi times diameter. And I have diameter here. Oops. I have diameter, so I'm going to use this one. Okay, equals circumference. So let's see. Diameter is 30. Pi is 3.14 equals the circumference. So let's do our math here. 30 times 3.14 is 94.2. So around one time is 94.2 probably feet. This is one time. Now, if they go around 10 times, I have to multiply this by 10, and that's going to tell me what it is, how far they go 10 times around. If I do that, it's 942 feet. That's how far they go. So first, I had to find what 1 time was. Then I found what 10 times was. Okay, I'm going to stop there for today. And like I said, we're just talking about circumference, how far around a circle. Hopefully you took some good notes and wrote down the formulas because you're going to need them coming up. And I will talk to you more in class next period. Thanks for watching.